Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I am a detox specialist that helps individuals like you gain their health back through different detoxification modalities. So the modalities that I work with are mostly dietary and herbal. So everything that I do is very customized, is very specific to the person, to the history, to the genetics of an individual, and I do it with empathy, with understanding, and with compassion. So these are my 3 reasons why it is difficult to heal on the healing journey. Healing is not only physical. Healing entails a lot of different factors. So if you're on your healing journey but you haven't seen a lot of results, there are reasons why what you're doing physically, even mentally and emotionally, is not working. There has to be a blockage to your progress. This blockage can be internal, meaning it could come from your past, it could come from suppressed emotion, or it could be external, meaning that the environment is influencing how fast and how adequately you're able to heal. Think of yourself as a sponge, and all of your experiences, be it internal or external, influencing how the harmony or balance of your body functions. So all the chemistries and energies you interact with, be it you create them yourself through emotions and mental anguish, or positive thinking and joy, or it could be external, that these factors, emotional energies and chemistries are brought into your system, and the way that you process them also matters. So the way that you are internally has a lot of impact on how you interact with the external environment. So when you think about health, there's just so many different elements to that. And when we eat correctly, that's just one area of chemistry we're correcting. So if we're correcting that one area, it's going to help correct these other areas to a certain extent. But we have to get at the root cause of why, in the first place, you've developed this disease or this dysfunction or this imbalance that's creating this disease or this expression of disease, the symptomology in our lives. So in this journey of healing, you have to become an investigator, a researcher into your own life. What happened at the time when you began seeing that symptomology? What emotional, mental, or even physical changes occurred during that time? Before you can heal, you have to understand the root cause of where you are in terms of your disease. So what happened at that time when you began to see these disease symptoms? Was it an emotional trauma? Was it something physical? Was it environmental? Stress is a huge catalyst that brings about a lot of these disease symptoms. I see stress as mostly a catalyst. So we have underlying, maybe genetic or environmental, lifestyle weaknesses. So all of those factors are just waiting to kind of burst into a symptom that we call physical disease. They just need that match that sparks this onset. And stress is usually that match. So let's say we've been eating a really bad diet for a decade, and then we have a very stressful period of time in our lives. Those two come together, and the stress becomes a catalyst that unleashes a lot of these, what we call imbalances and diseases. So it's never really one thing. It's always a compilation of different factors in our lives that can cause this expression of disease to occur. So to heal, we have to investigate and correct those factors that have come together in the first place to spark this physical manifestation of disease. However, there are more subconscious and subtle reasons why we ourselves are stopping ourselves from healing. So let's explore those. A lot of the times I see people come to me, they do all the right things, and they're really puzzled. Why am I not healing? Why isn't there any progress? One of the reasons that's really, really out there, that's really big, and many people don't even recognize that it's holding them back, is the need for connection. So the need for connection is one reason why we want to stay, even if it's subconscious, even if we don't necessarily want to be sick, we do want connection more than we want our disease to be maybe alleviated. So if that's the case, if we're seeking connection more, then we are basically putting energy into healing. So being sick actually provides us more connection with others, meaning others become caretakers, others, are nicer to us, others take us in. So that can cause us to feel okay because of this state of me not being able to take care of myself fully. There is a reason, and people can see that. I'm getting all of this love that I really wanted in the first place. So maybe that lack of love was a catalyst to bring upon these disease symptoms in the first place. So if we disconnect from something that we really wanted, something that depleted us, so we are in this disease state, and we disconnect from that, then we will more likely not want to heal, so that we can keep on getting that attention, that energy from other people, that love. So if we associate being in the state of dependency with connection and love, we are less likely to want to heal, to be independent, to be balanced. In that case, we will sabotage our healing journeys, and we will want to be taken care of by others, because that provides us with attention, with love, and with that energy that we're seeking. However, that is very problematic, because we're basically using other people's energy to fill our own cup. We're not working on energy, on basically creating that energy for ourselves. And that is what healing is all about. It's about placing that energy within ourselves, and then being able to create and able to express that energy that's our own into the world, so we can be the best self-expression of our blueprint on this earth. So if we're taking energy from others, we're actually depleting them. We're causing them to become imbalanced for our own sake, for our own desire to be accepted and loved and so forth. So it's a dysfunctional way of getting what we really want by putting ourselves in a position or sabotaging our own growth and healing, so we can get something that's more essential to our survival, and that's connection and love. So the solution to the sabotage is actually finding healthy ways that we can get connection, that we can get love, that we can get that energy, that one-on-one give and take energy from other people, but in a healed, self-empowered place. So we come from dysfunction. Everything we're trying to take from our environment is going to become extremely toxic. But when we come from, a place where we balance ourselves, where we heal ourselves, where we love ourselves from a self-loving place, that, journey of seeking connection with others will be mutually beneficial. So that journey is not going to be transactional and codependent. It's going to come from a place of health, from a place of full cup of energy, from a place of I can give and receive, from a place of I am worthy, from a place of I am loved and I love myself. The second important reason why we don't heal is because we're holding on to old hurts and traumas. These emotions are very heavy, and they're known to block the energy circuit of the body. So wherever these blocks are created, if the energy is the energy of anger, that block can be created in the liver. If it's of fear, that block can be created in the kidneys. So all of these energy circuits have a lot to do with our emotional and mental bodies. And when we're basically in a state of constantly revisiting certain emotions, constantly being in that emotional state, when we solidify those patterns of that emotional frequency, we give that frequency a lot of energy. We give it a lot of control over our energetic blueprint. So what it does is it becomes stuck, because it becomes more massive. So just like a physical tumor, which is actually an expression of the stuck energy, the stuck energy grows. It grows energetically, and it prevents the energy of the body from circulating to all the organs and tissues and cells for healing. So when we look at health, yes, the chemistry in food, yes, the chemistry in herbs, yes, a lot of things we do with our lifestyle that's very healthy will help unblock these energies. However, if we still have that cord anchored in the past, in our past hurts, in lack of forgiveness, then we're giving energy to that situation unknowingly. We're subconsciously funneling that energy that we need for healing and for thriving. We're funneling that to the past, to that person, to our situation. So we're never necessarily in a place to grow out of that pattern, emotional pattern, and heal it and get past it. Because if it's a very low vibrational pattern, fear, resentment, anger, all of those are low vibrational energies that are going to bring our energies down. They are going to create energy blocks so our energy cannot circulate, and they're going to prevent us from healing no matter what we do correctly. It's just going to be harder to see the progress, to make those steps that we want to make. So looking to heal emotionally is very, very important. You can do that through therapy. You can do that through different modalities that can help you become aware of these emotional patterns, the stuck energy, and get back to the root of the problem and finally put those last healing touches to that past trauma. And the third reason that people usually don't heal despite their best efforts is that they stay in toxic environments. So the environment has a lot to do with how we or how our cells express themselves. Our potential energy is very influenced by the environments we're in. So if the energy of the environments we're in is extremely low, is extremely stressful, is extremely toxic, we take on those energies because we are also energetic beings and we're influenced by what's going on outside of ourselves. So scientists have even shown that if you put a cell, let's say a liver cell, near other cells such as kidney cells, that liver cell will take on the characteristics of the kidney cells. It will become a kidney cell. That shows you exactly what can happen to your own cells. You put them in a stressful, toxic work situation, and you're going to see those repercussions in your health. You're going to see that stress, that toxicity mirror in your life experience. So environments are extremely important in terms of our health, be those physical environments or relational type of situations. So if you have to change your job, if you have to change your living situation, if you need to make those changes to become healthier, to see the progress in your healing journey, you have to make those changes starting today. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, that it opened up a new perspective in terms of healing and why healing is so difficult and why it takes time and what can prevent us really from making those strides, from making that progress. And if you'd like to learn how to heal naturally with me, all my information is down below. Thank you again for watching, and take care.